It was a real treat to see a pair of evening grosbeaks here at Lake Meyer Park yesterday. These are the first evening grosbeaks I've seen in Winneshiek County in over 40 years of birding here. Anyway, notice the beautiful golden colors on this magnificent male. The females aren't nearly as colorful, but they're still striking birds nonetheless. And of course, they both have those stunning gross or big beaks. Evening grosbeaks are very rare birds to see in Iowa these days. In fact, they're quite rare to see even where you might expect to find them way up in northern Minnesota and Wisconsin, where I've seen them in the winter season. They nest probably across Canada in the boreal forest there, and they feed their babies spruce budworms. I guess it was a banner year for spruce budworms. The evening grosbeaks had a good nesting season, and some of those birds are now moving south into the States for this winter season. So be on the lookout if you want to attract evening grosbeaks or have the chance in your yard. Put out a platform feeder and fill it with black oil sunflower seeds. Autumn meadowhawks are aptly named as they are the last dragonflies to be out flying during the autumn season here in the driftless region. This male is bright red in color. He has very few, if any, black markings on his abdomen, and he's got brownish legs. Those are a couple key characteristics that separate him from some of the other red meadowhawks that would fly in autumn as well. Female autumn meadowhawks, by the way, would have gold abdomens, but they'd still have the brownish legs. Autumn meadowhawks are found near marshy areas, and now in autumn, females will lay their eggs in the mud right along the edge of the marsh. As the water comes up in the springtime, it will cover up their eggs, and then they'll hatch. During the spring, the nymphs emerge now in autumn. But if we do happen to get some warm weather yet here in November and you're near a marsh, you might just see one of these late flying autumn meadowhawks. These carbon balls are always cool to find, and right now in late fall is a good time to spot them out in the forest if you happen to be out for a hike. They look kind of like brown or black marbles, or maybe a black lump of coal as they get old. So these carbon balls start out kind of pinkish in color when they're young. They turn browner as they get older and eventually black. And then they get a kind of a pimply surface, as you can see there as well on these examples. Carbon balls can pretty much be found on any type of hardwood. The American species is different than the European species. And in Europe, that species really likes ash logs, dead ash logs. But these carbon balls were growing on a walnut, dead walnut branch right here. Anyway, these carbon balls, if you do cut them in half, like through the middle, they look like they've got tree rings inside, which is pretty cool. And they make a good fire starter too, by the way. If you let them dry out, they take a spark very well, and they kind of burn like a briquette. So anyway, if you happen to be out in the woods right now in this fall or even the winter, be on the lookout for some carbon balls.